Okay, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your LB podcast, and today we are here to do La Liga chat. And when we talk of La Liga, you all know it's all about Barcelona and Real Madrid. So let's start off this way, Stana. Barcelona are on course to sign Rodri from Manchester City. It is not done yet, but people are saying this signing can massively swing the advantage into Barcelona's hands, given that Madrid have Mourinho in the building now. They've signed a lot of quality players this summer, and people thought that they were going to be able to challenge. But due to the single potential signing of Rodri, there is some trepidation that maybe Barcelona may dominate Spain again. What do you make of that sort of thinking behind Rodri's potential signing?
Yeah, for me, I think whoever signs Rodri between Real Madrid and Barcelona, make no mistake, it is a big deal. One, because you are preventing an opponent, a direct rival, from having a player that has that sort of influence on his teams wherever he plays for club and country. We know how important Rodri is for his teams. For Real Madrid, Barcelona getting him means Real Madrid will not get that sort of player that they need in their midfield to bring them that sort of that quality in there, the ball retention, the control that Real Madrid have lacked for a number of years now after Modric and Toni Kroos leaving the club. Many football fans, or let me say Real Madrid fans, have always mentioned the fact that they do need another midfielder in there, a deeper midfielder that can do that sort of work. So I think most Real Madrid fans were excited by the deal. And now Barcelona also signing him. Do Barcelona actually need him? Yes, I believe Barcelona need him. I always felt Barcelona needed another midfielder because they were just another injury away from having a disaster campaign. Because Frankie de Jong is injured for a few months. If another injury occurs, i.e., let's say a Pedri or a Mark Bernal who will replace Frankie de Jong, it means they'll be short in midfield. So I think Barcelona also needed him. So it is whoever signs him is likely to be Barcelona. I think they have a very, very good player on their hands. Also because they are lacking, or Lewandowski has left Barcelona. They will have another leader, a winner, who has won everything, seen it all at the highest level, to come into the midfield, not just be a player, but be a captain, be a leader in that team, and then drive them on in some games where they've lacked experience.
Yeah, I think the one other question is also about the fact that did you understand the thinking behind Rodri wanting to go to Madrid? Because it looks like initially he wanted to go to Madrid. And then for some reason, Madrid were dragging their feet in terms of negotiating with City. And because of that, he decided to switch camp to go to Barcelona. Do you think that Madrid transfer made sense in that instance when we were hearing that he was going to go to Madrid? Did it make sense, or you think the Barca move makes more sense?
I think in two forms. Um, from the human point of view, he was born in Madrid, Madrid born. Even though he played for Atletico Madrid Academy, it felt like being born in Madrid, he has that allegiance that he wanted to come back and play in his hometown, play in the city of Madrid, play for the biggest club in the world, which is also based in Madrid. So that made sense to me. But from a footballing point of view, we all know that Rodri stylistically fits more to the Barcelona system. Ball playing, we know how Barcelona play. The Hansi Flick system is not the same as the De La Fuente one, but it's more similar as compared to the Jose Mourinho type of football or what Real Madrid are even used to playing. So I think that is the distinction. From a footballing perspective, it made more sense if he played for Barcelona other than Real Madrid.
Okay, so you mentioned the two coaches there, Mourinho, Hansi Flick, but let's focus on Mourinho. What do you think about Mourinho's second coming to Madrid?
I think Mourinho's second coming, I was watching a documentary where Mourinho spoke about the fact that a journalist asked him, that if he doesn't win the Champions League at Real Madrid, does he think it is a failure? And he said yes. And I still think Mourinho,
Mm.
knowing the kind of man he is, he knows that coming back, that is the one trophy that he still wants to write his name in gold for Real Madrid. Because being a manager for Real Madrid, if you do not win the Champions League, no matter how many league titles you win, without a Champions League, being a Champions League winner with Real Madrid, you will lack something in terms of coaching Real Madrid twice in your career and not winning the Champions League. I think Mourinho will be wanting to win the Champions League first and foremost. Again, the trophyless that they've gone for 2 seasons, Mourinho would want to put that to bed as well by competing with Barcelona for the La Liga. And I think Mourinho is someone who likes to prove people wrong. Many people have written him off. They say he's washed. So I think Mourinho will be looking to put a marker down and say that I am still one of those guys and I can still do the job at the very top level.
Yes, so that is what Mourinho would want to do. But when you look at the terrain, when you look at the circumstances, how the game has moved, the direction in which the game has moved in recent years, do you think Mourinho has a genuine chance of winning the Champions League? Also, when you look at his performance at Madrid in his first coming, he won just one La Liga title, if I'm not wrong. And then I think he won a Copa del Rey. But they were playing well. They were a strong team. So given that first stint and the performance that he was able to put up, do you think he will be able to do way better now, given the Mourinho we know now? Because Mourinho 10 years ago is different from the current Mourinho. I think Mourinho now is a bit more relaxed. He's not as petulant as he used to be. He wants to play more than allowing the opponent to play and him defending. So he's a much different coach. And normally second comings don't go as well as the first coming. So given that, do you think Mourinho has a real chance of winning the Champions League, to be honest? Just looking at the teams that have been winning it in recent years.
I think it's Real Madrid. There is a chance. There is a chance. I mean, looking at his first stint at Real Madrid, he didn't win the Champions League, like you said. He didn't win loads and loads of trophies, but they were a strong team. And also, you have to remember the context behind Mourinho coming to Real Madrid at the time. At the time, Real Madrid had gone a few years without even getting to a quarterfinal of the Champions League. They were losing to Lyon in the round of 16 quarters. He was the one that got them to the semi-final stages for the first time since 2003, thereabouts. So the progression was there. Won the league with 100 points, being the first manager in the history of the La Liga to do that. So he got them. He started to get them to the latter stages of the UCL, and then they were a strong team. So I think this time, can he actually win the Champions League this time? Like I said, there is a chance. What I would say is that the Mourinho we know now and the Mourinho we knew back then, Mourinho right now needs a lot of help. And that is why it is disappointing that Rodri couldn't join the club. Because I feel like you were saying, right now the terrain and the manager, the tactics and whatever that has ensued for the past few years, Mourinho being an OG, has he really adapted to the new ways of the new modern managers and what they play? I think he has tried to, and that is why, like you said, now he tries to actually play some of the football now than we were used to before. Because even last season, when I saw Benfica play against Real Madrid, I saw for spells of the game, Benfica actually tried to put the game to Real Madrid, and so I've seen those things. I saw at Roma as well. He did that. He won the Conference League with Roma. In the second year, he got to the Europa final, playing decent football. So I think he will need a lot of help if he's able to do that. And they try to do that in the transfer market. But will it be enough? Personally, I don't see it being enough, especially this year. But he could make great progressions this year. And then I think for next year, that is when depending on how well he does this year and how well he competes, I might be able to give you a different answer. But for now, I would say Jose Mourinho will do well Real Madrid will play their football. They'll be difficult to beat. But I don't think this year Real Madrid will be good enough to win the Champions League. That is what I'd say.
But you are saying that he may not win it this year, but next year. But do you think this Madrid setup right now will allow Mourinho, will give Mourinho the time to be able to build a team, give him 2 years? For me, I think he's going to stay for a maximum of 2 years. If it doesn't work in the first season, if it doesn't work this season, if they go trophyless, for example, or they only win maybe the Copa del Rey or the Super Cup and don't win the league or the Champions League, next season, he might be sacked during the season if he doesn't start well. So this Madrid setup is very fragile. For me, it is a very unstable environment. Things change very, very quickly. Supporters are very fickle. Immediately they lose to Barcelona, like all hell breaks loose and they want everybody's head. So I really struggle to see how Mourinho is going to get enough time to be able to sort of build his team. And even if it doesn't work this season, he still has next season and so on and so forth. I think that is going to be very difficult in this particular football supporters and club environment, especially for Madrid, because I think they are currently under a lot of pressure. Madrid, they are under a lot of pressure to win. They have put the pressure on themselves, and also the fact that Barcelona are doing well, at least domestically. They are dominating Madrid. So they are under a lot of pressure to deliver immediately. And they've spent a lot too. When you look at the transfer window this particular summer, Madrid has spent a lot. They've brought in Cucurella. They've brought in the likes of Trent. Okay, Trent came in 2 seasons ago, but they've signed a lot. Yan Diomande, they've gotten a striker, SP, a whole lot. So they can't afford to fail this season. They really have to win something. And Mourinho is under that pressure. I think for now, things are a bit quiet. People are not complaining about anything because it's preseason. Preseason, you can't really make a lot out of preseason. But when the season starts, when the real business begins, people are going to put pressure. Immediately there is one defeat. Immediately there is a single draw. People are going to start making noise. So I think that is something that needs to be taken into account in Madrid's situation. Now, when we look at both teams, Barcelona and Real Madrid, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think would have a better chance of winning the Champions League? Especially Barcelona. We've already talked about Madrid, but do you think Barcelona's squad right now gives them a very good chance of winning? Let's assume Rodri is in the building already. They've signed Rodri. And so if they don't sign anyone else, do you think they have what it takes to go and beat the likes of PSG, Bayern Munich to win the Champions League? Arsenal, let me add Arsenal too.
I think Barcelona still need more. I think for Real Madrid, they know that the Rodri one was the one remaining piece that they needed in there. For Barcelona, I still think they need more. And I don't think if I'm doing my top 2 teams that I believe can win the Champions League again, either Real Madrid or Barcelona in there. But if it's between them, I would be more inclined to say Barcelona will be more closer to the Champions League than Real Madrid as at right now. Mostly because I haven't seen. The Madrid transfer that they've done is all on paper. I'm yet to see them play. So right now, without the ball being kicked, I would say Barcelona because they have a team. You use the way that they've played for last season and then the season before. It looks like for Real Madrid, they even have issues off the field in terms of the leadership, the dressing room issues, and that is one of the major reasons why Jose Mourinho came into the door. I don't think he came into the door basically because he was the best tactician around and he was the best man for the job. I think he came in there because he is a winner. The players respect him and he has that aura around him to be able to control the dressing room. So I think Real Madrid have a lot more issues to consider. They have to play together. They have to find a telepathy. They need to solve dressing room issues. But for Barcelona, I think they are more settled side. So without a ball being kicked, I would say Barcelona.
Okay, so what about the Vini Jr. Mbappe situation at Madrid? How do you think Mourinho solves it completely and there's no issue for the entire season? Because I feel like it is a very volatile situation where if Madrid lose one game or draw one game, it could crop up again. There could be blame games. One side of the supporters will be blaming Mbappe, other side will be blaming Vinicius, and it will be chaos. How do you see Mourinho getting around
Handling
this
that.
issue?
I don't think Mourinho can handle it. That is how I see it. I think there's only one reason that would ensure that it doesn't erupt into something catastrophic in terms of a fight or dispute, unless Real Madrid win. That is the only thing that will prevent it from happening, unless Real Madrid win. I just feel Jose Mourinho, fine, he has the experience, he has the aura, he's dealt with Cristiano Ronaldo, all those big players, but I don't think he can hold on for much long without them winning. They have to win. Without winning, I think we will come back a few months into the season and then we'll be hearing stories about fights in the dressing room again if Real Madrid are not winning on the pitch.
Okay, given that possibility, do you think it was a good idea for Vini to agree to extend his contract at Madrid, or he should have left?
Um, if I was Vini, I think I would have liked to go for a new challenge. If I was Vini, I think I would have considered the Arsenal deal. Try to move to the Premier League. And then but from another point of view, you are playing for the biggest club in the world. Why would you leave? They brought in players in. You are playing under Mourinho, one of the greatest managers. You would like to see how that would also go. So I can understand him staying, but I think it would have been also very good for us fans to see how Real Madrid would do. So Vinicius and Mbappe, one should leave, one should leave. Okay, now one has left. Now let's see how the team goes, and then we'll also see how exciting the Premier League would have also been. So from a fan point of view, and if I was Vinicius, I would have moved, but and then we would have seen how Real Madrid would actually do without Vinicius in there and how Vinicius would also do at Arsenal. And I think that would have been more exciting, but I can understand why he
Okay,
was.
so before we leave, quickly on Barcelona and their striking position. So it looks like Ferran Torres wants to leave to go to PSG.
Yeah,
We don't know exactly how that is going to play out, but
yeah.
Barcelona haven't been able to sign a number 9 to replace Robert Lewandowski yet. How do you see that affecting the prospect of Barcelona this coming season?
I think they need a 9. They need a 9. Not just that, I even feel they need another center back in there. If they were to get Julian Alvarez through the door, I think that would massively up their chances of defending their La Liga title and really pushing for the Champions League. Now, without the number 9, I think they have players that can still do a decent job. I think Rafinha has all the tools to play as a number 9 for Barcelona. I've always said this to my Barcelona people that Rafinha, he has legs, he can stretch play, can run in behind, can press what they need their number 9 to do off the ball. Rafinha can do it as well. They have Daniel, they have Ferran.
But until they sign a number 9, do you think Ferran Torres should be allowed to go?
No, I don't think they should let Ferran Torres go. Because
So
it
you
makes them
think
desperate.
if Ferran
Because
Torres
if Ferran
stays,
Torres goes out the door, then it means that if you are going for any other player, the club you are going to chase his player knows you are desperate for a number 9 because you do not have one. And that would also account for the price that they would want to sell the player for. So they need to bring in another player in before they even think about. I don't understand why they are so relaxed about the Ferran Torres situation.
So, okay, quick one, just 1 or 2 sentences for this question. Do you think they are going to buy Julian Alvarez, Barcelona? They will be able to finish the deal?
No.
They won't.
I don't believe in Barcelona, the hierarchy. I don't believe in their ability to get this job done.
Yeah, and we are hearing that he's going to extend his contract. So it is very uncertain right now. But thank you guys for listening and watching the show. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you are new here. We'll catch you later on. See ya.